Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Bahasham. Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to your sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This is your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson.
DOGE announces a new deadline for federal employees. The Trump administration and Elon Musk say they're taking swift action against federal waste, but many government employees say they're caught in the middle. All federal workers have until Monday night to list 5 work accomplishments from the prior week. Some agency heads, including Trump appointees, have told their staff to ignore the emails. But there's still much confusion over what this means for federal funding. Some states, including Arizona, are filing lawsuits to stop DOGE. Fox 10's Nicole Christine spoke to the Attorney General about how this latest move is complicating federal resources. Nicole.
Well, Ashley, this email sent by Elon Musk to federal employees yesterday is just the latest in a series of acts from DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, in its mission to reduce government waste. This email sent out is just coming on the heels of thousands of government layoffs already since Trump's inauguration, as well as freezing of some federal grant funding. Today, we spoke with Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays, who currently has several lawsuits filed against President Trump, Elon Musk, and DOGE, to hear her thoughts on the latest order. Mays says this is an example of how broken the system currently is.
It actually is going to be evidence in my case against Elon Musk and Donald Trump and DOGE, because it demonstrates that he actually is in charge, and that violates the separation of powers, and it violates the appointments clause of the Constitution. So, obviously it's bad for America, but it's going to be a part of our litigation to try to stop this.
And May's response, just one example from government officials, but we know there are a lot of politicians in Arizona that support this order from DOGE as well. So we are hoping to hear from some of them. Tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock, we will also be sharing some thoughts from Arizona voters. Reporting live in Phoenix, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Nicole. Republican Congressman Eli Crane sharing his support for Elon Musk's DOGE, saying on his X account, the American people have a right to know how their money is being spent. Swampy politicians have hid their efforts for too long. A $36 trillion debt wasn't an accident. Thankfully, we live in a new era of transparency. And GOP Congressman Abe Hamadeh agreed, saying in part, it's sad it's taken us this long to get to the bottom of how wasteful the bureaucrats at federal government have been with our hard-earned tax dollars. We're going to have much more on this story tonight at 9 and 10.
President Trump and advisor Elon Musk are targeting the IRS for their Department of Government Efficiency's next round of layoffs. More than 6,000 IRS employees are expected to receive termination notices by the end of the week.
We're studying every agency and deciding who to let go and why. And we're doing so very rationally with a lot of support from analysis.
Musk, who is set to speak at the Conservative Political Action Committee conference Thursday, claims the cuts are saving taxpayers billions.
Already saving $50 billion in a single year, which over a 10-year period would be $500 billion.
But some lawmakers say the cuts are coming too fast and too deep.
I'm all over being supportive of finding efficiencies, eliminating the waste, fraud, and abuse there. But there is a way that we go about it, and we do it within the confines of the law.
The campaign to slash the size of government is headed across the Potomac to the Pentagon, where CBS News has learned the administration told senior leaders to prepare for an 8% budget cut.
We're cutting spending with the advice of our IT consultant, Elon Musk.
The Pentagon is expected to shift those funds to other Defense Department programs that are priorities for the president, like his border security. Erica Brown, CBS News.
This it. See what? Another thing I'm not getting or understanding is you're firing people who work for the place, who just took orders. They're at the bottom, right? What happened to all them goddamn those those congressmen and all the congresswomen that made those decisions, that passed those laws for 30s and 40s and 50 years, right? Because I was thinking the same thing with what's his name? What's his name? John. What's his name? John. Dang, the Arizona dude, the one who ran against. Was it No, not John. Dang. Arizona congressman that died of cancer. What's his name? McCain. There you go. John McCain. Right. Right. Two-ball cane. McCain. Right. Cunt. Right. I should have known. But yeah, he had been a congressman forever. Right. Right. It says right here, Arizona congressman for over 35 years. So then he was going to run for president. And you've been a congressperson being able to make decisions and do these different things for 35 years. You think if you were president, anything would have changed? Anything would be different? No. You know, when I was, in the world of the world, foolishly, I thought, voting for Obama would have changed something. Right. But before Obama's second term, what's crazy is what looked or perceived to be a so-called white man, I don't think he was. I think he was a Jake. But he told me voting, he broke it down. Voting don't make any sense because they choose who they want to put. So the second term of Obama, I never voted. I haven't voted since. I've only voted once in my life and basically never again. But these people are in there, but they're not. But then you got these average people losing their jobs. And no one's saying anything about that, right?
Is the Nation's Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. Thousands of IRS employees are being fired. And naturally, which should be natural, people are cheering, right? Because naturally everybody despises the IRS because they continue to take money from the American people. They continue to never tell us what our money goes towards, except when they want to gaslight us and get us angry and tell us it's going to Ukraine and it's going to transgender surgeries and things like that, which they only tell you to get you fired up so they can convince you of eventually the solution for how to fix all the problems that they're deliberately creating via sabotage, right? But the stories about hiring more IRS agents, right? How IRS agents were targeting conservatives and auditing conservatives. All these stories have been done by design, so everybody out there is cheering this. How thousands of IRS employees have been fired. Maybe some Democrats aren't. We see protests and all these people in the streets about they shouldn't be losing their jobs. That's not fair, but only because they hate Donald Trump so much. But nobody likes paying taxes, so naturally, the destruction of the IRS and the dismantling of it sounds like a good thing. But it's not. It's not a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Because what is going to replace the IRS is worse. Because when you have AI through the IRS, everything is going to be tracked and monitored. You're not going to have to file taxes anymore. It's going to be automatically deducted. So when you lie on your taxes, when you don't file your taxes, those things are going to be gone. People don't realize that. They just hear this and they're like, yes, Trump's getting rid of the IRS. We're not going to pay taxes anymore. And Trump says, I'll give everybody 20% of their money back. We don't need these people. They don't do anything, right? So the media creates propaganda around it. It's comical. Look at some of this stuff that's out there. Employees describe chaos, heightened emotions, and added security at IRS offices following the firings, right? Listen to how fake this quote is from an anonymous source. I mean, it's like a 5-year-old wrote it. Emotions are high. People are arguing with management, throwing books, kicking chairs in frustration. The bottom line is, this wasn't handled with care, and these people have no idea where their next paycheck will come from, one IRS employee told CNN. And of course, they want people to feel bad for that, but don't forget how many paychecks the government took away from people who refused to poison themselves, right? So you have these stories out there about all of these IRS agents being fired. And nobody's thinking to themselves about, well, what's going to come in? What's going to replace it, right? They're thinking to themselves, this is great because these guys target conservatives. These guys are being armed. They're hiring more IRS agents, right? Nobody likes the IRS. That's pretty clear because really what they're doing is illegal, right? So the alt-right media...
Here at CBS News Detroit, we spoke to a researcher with AI to hear his take on this. His name is Dan Fagella, and Fagella said the growth of AI in the private sector is monumental and will only continue to grow. He added the trend isn't going away, but it'll take a while until people accept this technology. Fagella said the IRS AI tech will find commonalities and patterns within taxpayers' information. He said this tech already exists in some aspects of finance.
The government, or private companies for that matter, are able to make really robust predictive decisions about sort of what to investigate, what to do, who to give a loan to, who not to give a loan to, what data should be permitted and should not be, and is there a way to hold that accountable? I think that whole ecosystem has to level up. I also think there's much broader conversations and bigger dialogues that are going to happen about the government actually sort of handling AI development at a national level. I think we're about to see leaps in this technology that are so gigantic that they'll very likely shake up the job market and very likely shake up sort of day-to-day human life in a really, really robust way, like much larger leaps than ChatGPT.
Fagella said the integration of AI will happen slowly. He says he understands there's fear that revolves around this, but added this is the way of the future, so people are going to need to catch on and embrace it. In studio, Jordan Burke.
That if you are somebody who files your taxes and you pay your taxes, I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do in regards to that, but more than 213.333 million returns and other forms were filed electronically. These represented 78.6% of all filings. For individual tax returns, 90.7% were filed electronically. So 90.7 filed electronically. So the first thing that anybody out there who does pay their taxes can do, while the government's firing all of these IRS agents, which everybody out there is fine with, right? I mean, we should just be taking down the entire tax system, right? And the government should be held accountable for every dollar they spend. All these things are true. That's why people are they're falling into this with Trump and Musk, because they don't know what's coming next. But what you could do, if you do file, is you could handwrite. You could handwrite your taxes. Write them in hand, mail them in. Because the more people do it electronically, the more they can remove humans and replace it with AI. Because your consent, just this right here is your consent. Filing electronically. You can fill it out in TurboTax if you want, but print it, send it in the mail. Because it's going to take a long time for them to manually put it in, especially when they're firing people. But they know that everybody's doing it digitally. So once it all goes into the system digitally, well, they don't need humans anymore. Now AI can monitor it, and it'll automatically flag you. And guess what? The IRS isn't going away. The people might be, the people that they've stereotyped, right? They tell you that they're targeting conservatives, or conservatives are angry. They tell you that they waste your tax money on, there's so many stories out there about what the IRS does with the money that they make every year and the employees they make and the money that goes into just, the IRS buildings and how much coffee they buy. There's so much stuff out there that they fed people to make them irate because everybody hates the IRS. But nobody's paying attention to this. IRS purchases NVIDIA DGX B200 SuperPod, okay? Do you know what that is? That's a super computer, a super AI computer. And NVIDIA, if anyone out there doesn't know, NVIDIA is the main primary partner of the Stargate project. So NVIDIA is listed as a key technology partner in the Stargate project, a large-scale U.S. government initiative focused on developing AI infrastructure, where they are expected to contribute their GPU tech and AI platforms to the venture alongside companies like OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank. Right? NVIDIA is considered a primary partner for Stargate, okay? So NVIDIA and the IRS are working together while the humans are getting thrown out the door because nobody out there is mailing in their taxes anymore. Everybody continues to allow this transition to tech. It's more convenient. It's more fun, right? Everybody loves their phone. They're addicted. It's the worst addiction we've ever seen in human history. Never mentioned, right? We've had all these other addictions, which I'm sure are awful for people who have addiction problems, but there's no addiction worse than technology. People spend more time in their tech than they do outside with family members. They're obsessed with it, right? So that's how we've allowed the government to move forward now. They've given you 10 years of getting addicted to this, and now nobody can get off of it, right? 10, 15 years of the cell phone, and every year, more and more things being done on a phone, banking being done online, purchases being done on the phone. They don't even give you plane tickets to board a plane anymore. You scan a code, all done by design. Where it's convenience, it feels good. You're like, oh, this is great. I don't have to print the ticket as if that was hard in the first place, right? Saves time because people are in a rush to get nowhere. But then the next thing they're going to realize is that while we're all filing, or supposedly we're all filing our taxes and doing it electronically, right? Because everybody's doing it electronically. I mean, you'd be very hard pressed to find anyone who's mailing it in, okay? So that's part of the reason that, we're gonna fire employees because they still expect you to file electronically. So for anyone out there who is, I recommend you do that. But unfortunately, they're gonna phase it out, like they phased out phones from 3G to 4G to force you in to 5G. But this is not the solution, okay? For anyone out there, all these people think is that Trump's firing the IRS is going away, less audits, this is great, we hate these people, we hate them people, the people who steal your money. I mean, of course you don't like them, right? But this is the solution that they're not telling you about, that the alt-right media won't discuss, because they'll just kiss Trump and Musk's rear end without telling you the nightmare that's coming. U.S. IRS to buy NVIDIA supercomputer. NVIDIA is the one who's working on the AI government infrastructure. Stargate. You will not have to file your taxes anymore, okay? And that you're gonna hear people hear that and they're gonna go, that's great. I'm not gonna file my taxes anymore. Yeah, Trump's the best, right? Yeah, he's the best. Because with AI infrastructure, you won't need to file it. Because every single thing that you do will be accounted for. Every purchase that you make will be accounted for. And then all of a sudden, when you think about deductions, right? Well, they'll be accounted for. They'll tell you it'll automatically do your deductions for you, right? You'll be able to contact a human if they don't do one of your deductions, because once the digital infrastructure is in place and digital payments are in place where you can only pay digitally, digital currency, everything's going to be done. It's going to be sucked out of your bank account. There's not going to be an April 2nd deadline or whatever the deadline is to send in your taxes. It'll be done every time you make a purchase. It'll be deducted. And you'll see less and less and less in your bank account, and you won't realize it. And then, of course, there'll be universal basic income, so you won't have to worry about it. And then the next thing you know, you're going to see taxes being deducted based on carbon footprint, right? This is what it all leads to if we allow technology to continue to move in this direction. And that's what the Trump administration's job is for the globalist New World Order. These idiots don't get it. And I'm calling them idiots because these are the people who defend Trump because they don't get it. Because all they hear is Trump is making sure men play men's sports and women play women's sports. Trump is getting rid of all that woke crap. Trump's going after the IRS. They hear basic things that, for basic level thinking, that make them cheer. And of course, those are all things that everyone should be, not even be cheering. I mean, this is just normal, the way the normal society should be, right? We shouldn't even be having a debate about men playing women's sports. It shouldn't even be a debate, right? The stuff we saw in the White House with Biden, it shouldn't have been allowed to occur, right? But they did it by design. So everybody's just focusing on everything's going back to normal. The stock market's going up, right? And while that's happening, nobody realizes that, the teardown of the healthcare system, the teardown of the IRS, the teardown of all these agencies is being replaced with AI. And every movement you make is going to be tracked and monitored. So you won't have to worry about the IRS coming to your door, armed IRS agents, all this propaganda they put out over the years to make people fearful that the IRS is going to show up at their front door. No. It'll just be automatically done. You won't even have to file your taxes anymore with this AI infrastructure in place. So nobody sees it, and everybody's cheering it, and it's scary. It's scary. The IRS with NVIDIA is now the person, if NVIDIA is really in charge of, they're the main primary aspect of this AI infrastructure that Trump is bringing in. We know about OpenAI and all that other crap, Oracle. It's going through NVIDIA, and they're going to develop the algorithm that the IRS is going to use, okay? The IRS ain't going anywhere. It's just getting a facelift, and the facelift is going to be worse. All this stuff they're bringing with the tech, it might sound good to you because you're so livid over the acting that the Democrats have done over the last decade to make you hate humans and feel like, hey, tech is better than these woke people. Well, that's done by design. So that once the tech is in place, then you're going to regret it, because you're going to give all your rights up to technology. And that is the Tower of Babel rebuilt. That is AI governance is what they want. Okay, it's the rebuilding of the Tower of Babel. It's all governments connected through artificial intelligence, and every aspect of your life connected through AI, monitored and tracked, including underneath your skin. I thank everybody for being here.
Yeah, so this is a MasterCard crypto credential. So MasterCard crypto credential is a tool that allows cryptocurrency holders to make transactions without using complex blockchain addresses. It verifies interactions between customers and businesses using blockchain networks. So it's saying it don't use a blockchain network, but businesses do use blockchain networks. So either way it goes, you're going to be interconnected with this blockchain, which is interconnected with with the MOTB, right? So and it says blockchain networks using businesses that use the blockchain networks and offers services several benefits. Confirms that the user must user has met verifications, right? So-called your identification via your facial recognition, you know, your your eye retina. Then of course, like they was saying about even your palm underneath your skin, like the guy was saying, eventually, the digital tag, right? That biometrics, right? um, yeah, meet verification standards, and that the recipient's wallet can support the transaction assets, right? To make sure you have the right amount of money in the bank, right? And then eventually, it starts out that way, but eventually, like the guy was saying, it's going to go into where it's your carbon footprint and how much you weigh, your height, your weight, your everything is gonna be determined what you can buy and what you can eat, right? So throw your so-called freedom out the window. Yeah, like this right here. It says across the board transactions, right? Because basically you're throwing freedom out the window for the state, for the sake of conveniency, and so-called they're giving you this thing of saying how it it keeps theft, because nobody wants to get their money stolen or things stolen. So they're speaking to that core part of you, but it's taking away your freedom, so you can go buy stuff and do things in secret. Sometimes you want to go buy some things and have nobody know what you bought, what you paid for, where you went and bought it at, or anything, right? You don't need those things, right? So it says supports the exchange of travel. So when you go somewhere, you're trying to travel, rules, information. So this thing is gonna have, I don't know if you've seen the Black Mirror thing, but you're about to experience that real soon, if the Lord let it go that far, right? To ensure transparency, yeah, and that's a way of saying slavery, right? Because now there's no making money under the table. There's no, like you said, there's no making a couple little quotes in your taxes saying I don't know, you might have donated some money, some clothes, but you might add a little bit more money, more than you really actually did donate, just so you can get a little more back. There's no more of doing nothing like that. No more claiming children that's not yours or anything like that. No more doing the little thing you can get ahead when it's technically your money. This is just money you worked all year for. They're talking about giving some of it back to you if you meet the requirements, that they'll give you some of it back. But you're going to pay taxes on things you pay taxes for, and then pay taxes on the things that you pay taxes on, right? Because you get your check, they take out your taxes. Then everywhere you go, you get taxed. Then they're saying, hey, you went through all year, you made X amount of money. Now you owe us that you went ahead and did the correct things to get yourself ahead. No getting ahead. You owe us. So now you got to pay the government the money that you try to do so you can get ahead. So no, you can't get ahead. So it will be none of that basically getting ahead or making money underneath the table, because of transparency, right? And that's not meaning a good thing, because that's what they're going to tell you. Prevent illegal activity. So that's what they're going to tell you. But it's also to prevent you from doing illegal activity, right? How are you going to buy your drugs, right? Matter of fact, they may make cigarettes illegal across the board, right? Everybody knows cigarettes is bad for you. So they're not going to let you, according to this thing, they could probably have you go try to buy, and cigarettes are completely illegal. because of transparency. They're gonna say you can't have that. You know it's bad for you, right? Yeah. So pretty much like the guy was saying, the digital thing underneath your skin, the digital tag, the the MOTB, right? Which is the biometrics, right? The grain of rice, right? It says he causeth all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark, right? Which is charagma, right? Karax grapho, right? So we already know where this is going, right? Pretty much, there's no way around it. We know exactly where this thing is headed. The guy's saying it, and I had, I don't know if, yeah, one of my lessons, I brought it up, because this is all by design, kind of like the guy was saying, if you paying attention, think about it. One day you were going to work every day, payday comes up, you get a paper check. You go to the bank, you go to Walmart or whatever, you cash your check. You go to one of these little liquor stores, say they take 1%, which is not bad for cashing your check, right? Because even Walmart went up from, I think they do like a 3% or 4%, something like that. They kind of went up. But 1% is pretty good, out of your check. But then they can only cash a check but so big, right? One of these little liquor stores or whatever. And everything was good. It's fine. If you go to the bank, cash your check, get your cash, right? And I never understood that whole thing with the credit card thing, because you don't, you get the swiping. You forget you done swiped it so many goddamn times. When you got your money on you, when your money start getting low, when that thing go from being a stack and your stack start getting thinner, you got to start being, reservative over what you spend. But this thing where you can't even, you just swipe, and then you go swipe and it denies it. You're like, oh my God, what did I? And you go looking at it, you're like, wait, I didn't realize I spent so much. But I remember, to get to the point, I remember going into work and they were saying, here's this paper, put your bank information, because we're all going, everybody has to. There's no other way but to send your check direct deposit. So ever since then, and then you could go to the bank and go get your money out and get the cash, but then guess what happens? You end up getting into that whole rhythm of it being more convenient because you have your debit card on you. Swipe. You mean? Now you're talking 10 years, 15 years later, you're kind of used to it. You know what I mean? And this is where the conditioning for the battle has come into, right? So now that all what? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, receive what? A charagma, karax grapho, in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save. I love that it says save like that, because ultimately the Lord said that if you save yourself, he who saves himself shall lose it, and who lose his life for the gospel's sake, for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's sake, shall gain his life, man. And so you're trying to save he that had the mark. So you're trying to save yourself by getting the mark, right? Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? Which goes into the whole system in itself, right? Yeah, so this is Matthew chapter 16, verse 25. For whosoever will save, right? Save his life, right? Trying to save your life, shall lose it, right? You're just gonna lose it. It's not gonna help, right? You're gonna get a grievous sore have pus and ooze leaking out of your hand, right? You're gonna get some type of cancer, while they're trying to tell you that it can help you detect cancer, but it's gonna be the thing that gives you cancer. They're not telling you that, right? Right? Allegedly, right? And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. See, and we're here to lose ourselves for Hamashiach, for Yahweh Shai's sake, man. Because he did it all, man. He did, man. It's nothing for us to lose our life or a little bit of time, right, to put out a lesson or some money, right? Hey, we need. Hey, listen, we need Yahweh Shai more than we need time or money, right? Now there's a balance, but Yahweh Shai got to come first, bro. That's it. That's it, man. And that's yeah. Case closed, right? That's it. For what is a man profit, right? So what is a man's profit? What is all these things that you're here to throw away all your because they calling it transparency, but that transparency means how do you say it? They're gonna be nosy. They're gonna be in your business, so to speak. Let's make it plain, like the scriptures say. Let's make it plain upon tables. We need to say no big words. We just gonna say they know. They're gonna be hella nosy, big brother in your business. That's what transparency mean. They're gonna be in your house, watching what you eat, watching what you do. Right? They're gonna know when you sleep, when you eat, when you poop, when you do a little something with your lady. They're gonna know it all, bro. Right? They're gonna know if you know you throw on one of the movies and do something with yourself, pleasure yourself. They know every freaking thing, bro. Right? Ain't nothing. Those are things that's supposed to be private, man. And see, which proved that this man is the devil, man. Yeah, God knows all, God sees all, but the power is he's righteous, man. This devil, man. This devil is someone that even Job said he wouldn't put his dogs next to, man, because this devil is known to do something perversion to animals. But this guy can look at another man's nakedness when that's actually forbidden in the scriptures, man. You're not supposed to be looking on another man's nakedness, man. Right? But what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world, Salakia, the whole world, and lose his own soul? See, you're gonna be on top. You're gonna be on top of the world. Got your charagma in your hand. Look at y'all. Yeah, y'all was about that Hebrew Israelism. I'm eating. I'm finna be over here eating. Watch me swipe my hand. Swipe. Let's see how I get to eat. And then eventually, you're gonna find out it was a test and you lost, and you just lost your soul. So, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul, bro? What exactly could you give in exchange for your soul? A soul is priceless, bro. You can't. The Father is a Father of spirits. The Most High is to own your soul, not no man. But under this thing, this man is going to have power over over your soul, right? Right. So this is Revelation chapter 18, verse 13, and this it says basically giving this man having this type of power. It says, and the cinnamon and odors, right? He's going to have power over the cinnamon. Right? Cinnamon is good for you. It reduces inflammation. Right? Cinnamon is it lowers lowers your lower blood sugar. Right? It's even sometimes even known to improve brain function. Right? So to have some cinnamon in your life is actually good. But he's going to be able to control how much cinnamon you can get. and odors, right? Deodorant, soaps, the things that you need for your house, air fresheners, whatever it takes, to freshen your house or whatever. Ointments, right? The doctor, right? Going into, your healing. They'll have control over it. That's what they're saying. Hey, get into this AI and it could tell you what illnesses. It can make a it's also a bartender. It can make a certain mixture for you, right? In the bar they call it a cocktail. I don't know what you call it in the medical field or anything like that, but but things mixing together, at a bar they call it a cocktail, and but that's what they're saying. The ointments, being able to the doctors, right? They're gonna have control over that. And frankincense, yeah, like I said, yeah, things that make your perfumes, colognes, things to make your body smell good, your house smell good, and wine, right? 'Cause it tell you that in the scripture it said that wine maketh a man happy, right? It's time you chill with your lady, drink a little bit of wine. They're gonna be determined of with this charagma, grapho, right? Because grapho meaning records, and this record would say it would give all your records and say that like I said, that thing saying if you have the assets, right, and going into if once it goes into it being your carbon footprints, it will see if you have the assets to fit your carbon footprint to say that you can have this item or not have this item, right? And basically in complete control, right? Because these are the things that's in control of the devil or the beast system, right? When you deal with this Revelation 18, it's talking about the beast system in itself and what they have control over, how they have all these things, wine, the oil, right? Certain oils are better for you to cook with. I mean, like olive oil is not that good to cook with, but it's good to put on your salads. And then you got the avocado oil. That's a lot better for you to cook with. But then, it's super expensive, right? Then you got these other oils, the corn oils and all these other things or what's the other one called? Canola oil or whatever it is. That's not that great for you, but they make it cheap. So that in itself messes with your diet, but then they're going to tell you, hey, your diet's off, so you can't have this because this thing is saying your blood sugar's off or something. So you need this. So we'll let you get a little bit of cinnamon since the cinnamon lowers your blood sugar, but you can't have no wine. You're like, man, I'm about to get down with my lady. I need a little wine, little mood, little music, set the mood. Now you can't have no wine because this dude is wine and fine flour, right? Oh, let's not even get into that, right? Certain food is breaded, right, with flours. Nope. Your carbon footprint said you that's too much carbs for you, right? That flour with it, right? And wheat and beast, right? Oh, you can't have no meat. You can't have no steak. Your carbon footprint says you can't have any steak, right? And sheep, right? That's pretty good meat too, right? Right, going into like lamb, like sheep's lamb, basically, that's good meat too. You can't have that, right? You can't eat that sheep meat. Matter of fact, we're gonna say that their excrement leaves a so-called a carbon footprint that it damages the world. So you can't have this at all. We're gonna make you get crickets and lentils, right? And that's it. We're gonna make you eat grasshoppers and lentils, right? And horses, right? Basically dealing with, horses dealing with vehicles, right? Because at this time, a horse was used for traveling, right? So now they're saying, hey, you can't have gas-powered vehicles. You got to have these electric vehicles, right? They're going to have all these ways to control things. And chariots, right? See? dealing with your cars, your vehicles, right? See, right there. And slaves and souls. What? This is what I'm talking about. See, and this is the point right here. And souls of men. So once they're giving you that karat, man, they have your soul, and now this thing control how you feel. They can hit a switch and make you feel sad, make you feel happy, and most of the time they're gonna make you feel happy about. That's why he was saying you're gonna have nothing and be happy. So you're gonna put on the happy switch, and you're gonna be walking around happy, though the whole world, as you have known it, is gone. They're constantly looking into your life. They know everything that you're doing at every moment, every waking second, and you worked 20, 30, 40 years in your life, and you have nothing to show for it. Besides the elite got richer, and they didn't put you in some type of 15-minute city, and you're just walking around smiling. And that's their mentality of a great world, right? That's this Edomite, man. It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusts. See, so they're going to be able to control the things the fruit that your soul lusts, right? You want a pear, what's some dragon fruits, some of the more exotic fruit. Oh, good fruit you need is the sour sop, right? Sour sop is actually really good for different diseases and different cancers and things like that. You will probably need actual sour sop, but they control whether you can get these type of things. And I mean, they do it now on a small scale, but how much more when they could literally see everything, your transactions, where you go, where you don't go. They got cameras on every block, every street, every house, right? Yeah, because think about it. Once this thing gets locked down completely, it's going to be a camera on every. They're going to come out and put cameras on your house. Like right now, people are willingly giving themselves over. Because like I had a guy come to my door and was like, yeah, I got this CCTV camera and it even got night vision and da-da-da-da. And he was making these people, they come out here and about the people next door, people things been happening in the neighborhood. And I was thinking, yeah, there's a lot of little suspicious activity been happening in the neighborhood lately. Damn. And I was kind of on the fence, but then something hit me. Yeah, it's watching out, but guess who else is going to be watching? The main person is going to be watching is me. Because I'm going to be the one coming up to the camera every day in and day out, and this thing's going to watch me, and I told him, nah, I'm good, right? I'm good, bro. Nah. But, yeah. So after our departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from. Yeah, see, all these things that are dainty and goodly and all these things that's been good for you and all your freedoms is all departed from you, right? Are departed from thee, and thus shall find them no more at all. And see, and this is really talking about how the Lord is going to destroy America, Babylon the Great. But at the same time, they're taking it from themselves. What they don't understand is they're fulfilling that prophecy by narrowing it down to where only a few people can have a little bit, and they only having so much instead of a big abundance of it. You're already fulfilling that prophecy where the Lord is taking it away. But how much more once the fire hits from the missiles, it's just going to burn up the little bit left that it has, and then you have it no more at all. So it's really talking about the Lord destroying this place, but even for you, it's starting to depart from you, right? Yeah, so this is Job chapter 17, verse 8. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself, right? Which is dealing with the elect. The innocent is the elect, right? And it says, shall stir up himself against the hypocrite, right? And that's America, Babylon the Great, man. you call yourself a Christian society, right? Which we know that you're just, you're Satan that transformed himself into an angel of light. To say that you're these people, that you wish, right? And all these different things that have to do that, you're was it how do you say it? What you're not, it's the angelic sons of Isaac, right? Because try to say you're Anglo-Saxons, which means angelic sons of Isaac, and what you're not. You try to put on these things, but you're persona non grata, right? Says the righteous shall hold on his way, right? And that's we hold on to the ways of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and he that have clean hands, right? We're not gonna get the karagma, karax, graphel, right? Our hands are gonna be clean of all that. Not to mention we're out here on the highways and the byways, digital pistols. Hey, our hands are clean, bro. That's it, man. Shall be stronger and stronger, man. And that's what's happening right now, man. While the rest of you are falling right into the wayside of society, right? We're just getting stronger and stronger, man. We're coming against this hypocritical society with this BS, trying to make it seem like it's going to be a better thing. That ain't no better thing. That's taking away your God-given rights to be a man, right? Not to mention, it's saying you have to bow down to him. It says for in the worship, right? And we're not supposed to have any other God before the Most High, man. No gods. We ain't here to worship nobody but the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. So our hands is to be clean hands, man, without the karagma in them, right? Yeah, so this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 2. Blessed is he whose conscience, right, your mind, because everything weighs upon your mind, your conscience, have not condemned him, right? And that's ultimately what we're here to do, man. Not let things be weighed out against us, man. That we don't let the overwhelming scourges of the world weigh us down. That we know that Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, is ultimately there for us. Though it may not look like it in the time and the period that things are going on, that we know the Lord is going to show up, right? It says, and who is not fallen from his hope, right? And our hope in the Lord, right? The outer one, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakal Kadash, right? Riches are not commonly. See, you're going into this world thinking it's about riches, thinking about it's all about this, that, and the third, right? But then you're going to find yourself on universal basic income, which everything is going to not mean a damn thing because you're trying to save your life, but you're going to lose it, man. You're going to lose all, you're going to lose your soul for one, right? And you're going to lose the ability to have privacy, right? You're gonna lose a whole lot of, man. You're just gonna lose all the way around, right? Because ultimately the missiles have to come, the chariots, the angels. You failed the biggest test that there ever was. You're gonna fail it, and then you gotta, at one point in time, every soul is gonna have to stand before the Most High, and you gotta explain to the Most High why you got the karagma, why you try to save your own life. You got to give him a good enough excuse that supersedes his son dying on a cross. I don't think you're going to be able to do that, right? It says, riches are not commonly for a niggard, right? And that's Esau, man. Esau, Edom, man. He's a niggard, man. He had this money system, and he's been collapsing this money system, which he was doing it anyway, right? He can't help himself. He was the Greek, the Greek Empire, right? The Greco Empire, the Greek Empire, They had this money, the gold, this and that. And they started extracting from the gold and things like that, and basically went in debt when they were the Greco Empire. Then they became the Roman Empire, pretty much did the exact same thing, went into debt, extracting the gold and silver from the coins, which would have gave them a tremendous amount of wealth for years and years to come, right? But they decided to leave off from that. Came back. It's the second leg of Rome, right? The second leg of the Roman Greco Empire, and did the exact same thing, right? Because there used to be silver coins, silver dollars, gold coins, and gold dollars, and things like that. And they retracted the gold and the silver from the coins, from the things like that, and now they're in debt all over again, right? So this riches are not commonly for a niggard. What should then an envious man do with money? And see. And that's what could he do? He's envious of the blessing. And so his thing is to make money so important that you have to get this or this digital coin so important that you have to get it, right? Which is in turn going to destroy you, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 16, verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the power, the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men, right? Men, talking about women too, men and women, which had the mark, right? Charagma, Crocs, Grapho, of the beast upon them, which worshipped, right? See, because that's ultimately going into worshiping this system, worshiping the self-proclaimed so-called white man, Esau, Edom. You're worshiping his image, right? So you got a grievous sore, right? Which goes into what? Cancers, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, right, which is talking about America, is that great city because she made the nations drunk of the wine, right, going into our philosophies, right, this this vain idea that they were going to be able to just make this pact, going into Psalms 83, and that the Lord was never going to basically find out, that they were going to just discontinue us, and that we were never going to rise up again. That's what they thought. They thought if they just throw all these different what do you call it? Enchantments, so to speak, right? Enchantments and things that we would stay here in captivity. And then like the bulk, basically, like Apostle Tahar says, the bulk of the Israelites are here in America, right? So they figure, hey, they're off, right? Because even the scripture says that you sent them far off from their borders. So now your thought was, hey, they're not even really on the eastern part of the world. So the bulk of them are on the western part of the world. We could just control this eastern part, and if everything, all else fell, we'll just destroy the western side of the world, right? Because when you go into that dude Abraham Finkelstein, that's pretty much what he was saying. Hey, look, we milked the cow. We're done with America. So why was he saying that? Because he's in with the elite, and the elite know that they're pretty much done with America, right? And I guess this whole thing with the Charagma is just like its last ditch effort of seeing if they can hold on to it, to see if the power really actually comes back. You know what I mean? To test to see, because you know what I mean? Like they were telling Yahushua, hey, if you really are the Son of God, you can get yourself down off this cross. So their whole thing is saying, look, you've been in the ghettos, the vadios, and the reservation this long. You've been downtrodden, this, and that. We're gonna test the theory, right? We're gonna try to give you the destroy the God gene, right? You know, if there is a such thing as God, right? Because they ain't believe in that, right? Because they were supposed to have been using it on Ishmael, supposedly, you know, to calm down your belief system, your radicalism, right? To them, your Hebrew Israelism, right? And their thoughts. But hey, but yeah, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she had made all the nations drunk with the wine, right? The philosophies of the wrath of her fornication, right? Which is that wrath is going to come down from the Most High, right? And it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worshipped, right? Going into that charagma, right? You're getting that grievous sword. You worshipped the beast and his image and receive his charagma, right? In his forehead or in his right hand, the same shall drink with the same, shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the power of the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which means righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. See, and that's ultimately what's going to happen, man. Because you're biting onto the system. What this guy is saying, people, you're addicted to the technology at this point. So now you can't help but the convenience, and not to be inconvenienced. You take on the convenience, which is going to take away your soul, your life, your privacy, right? You're no longer going to be a straight up man, an independent person. You're going to have to depend solely, completely on the government, and then whether they decide to say you could buy or sell anything, right? You're going to be able to make money under the table, so you could push the envelope, so you can there's no climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak, anymore, right? There's no more what do they call it? Yeah, basically the American dream is done for, right? Because when they say you could be anything you want, there ain't going to be no anything you could be anything you want to be, right? There are going to be any jobs at all. So now you just have to accept the universal basic income and smile, because he says so. He's going to hit the smile button on some computer somewhere, and you're going to be walking around smiling in prison, in a goddamn concentration camp. Or a 15-minute city, which is a concentration camp in itself too, but I guess it'll seem like a little bit more freedom. You'll be able to go outside, and ride a bike 15 minutes down the way, and maybe 15 minutes back, and smile. Hey man, hey, that's the price you pay for destroying your own economy and your own constitution. So with all that, I'm gonna give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. The elder apostles, bishops, teachers in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball. Kwam Yasharallah.